I think that preseason rankings are silly.
Oh, those good old things. Yep.
We saw that we were last, which no one wants to be last.
I mean, to say the least, we kind of saw it coming.
Obviously, it was discouraging to see us at the bottom, but I mean, we all kind of knew going into it that we were going to be ranked at the bottom.
I think once losses happen, they kind of compile, and then you're like, oh my gosh, we have to win at some point.
I wasn't super surprised because obviously the season we had before.
But given the season that we had before, it wasn't too big of a shocker.
This team was 1-17 in the Mountain West last year. It was a train wreck of a season.
Well, I don't think we were surprised. Obviously, what we did last year wasn't good.
It was expected. I mean, you can't be butthurt about why they ranked us last.
I think it kind of just hit all of us.
Obviously, we were upset. You know, nobody wants to be dead last.
We talk about them coming off a season last year, not their best season, but they have a new coach this year.
We knew that we had a great new coaching staff. We knew that we were all locked in, so it was like, okay, let's go mess up some people.
We kind of knew it was like a new start. We had a new staff, and so we're just trying to figure out, you know, how to flip this around, because we knew we were capable of being at the top.
But for everybody, we all knew we were coming back minus one person, so it was even more motivating.
It does help for Fresno State that they do return 6 starters from last year.
I think we kind of had this like revenge tour mentality. We were just kind of like, we don't deserve to be dead last.
It was what it was, and it showed of our season in the prior year. So it's like, you can't be mad about it.
I think in a way it was good because we didn't have any expectations. Like, nobody was looking at us as a threat.
You know, and are people going to be right about where they picked us? Or are people going to be wrong about it?
If they're going to put us dead last, then we have to prove them wrong. So I think that, again, the revenge tour mentality just kind of brought us to life, and I think we really stuck to that.
You couldn't do worse. It's not like you could go down. So it was like, okay, we're literally starting from nothing. So let's just see what we can do.
Let's just go play.
Yeah, definitely some veteran players for Fresno State. We talk about them coming off a season last year, not their best season, but they have a new coach this year.
This conference had, I think, 5 or 6 new head coaches.
There's actually 5 new coaches in the Mountain West this year.
So I honestly thought that it was good that they placed us there, not only because it made sense at the time, but it helped us too. Started at the bottom, like, where are we gonna go? And so I think it definitely fueled us.
Once you get into that actual competition, there's like nothing like it. Like, you can only work on it while you're in competition.
I was really pleased with the way our preseason kind of laid out. You know, we went to Butler, played in a tournament there. We did not play well the first set. I think that there was a lot of nerves involved.
There was definitely some nerves as well, especially at Butler. Like, there was one game that I feel like we should have won.
The Butler games, we didn't play our best volleyball, and we were kind of like, uh-oh, like, especially me, I was like, this isn't great.
It was a whole new year and new set of expectations.
Learning the new scouts, learning her new calls.
How we wanted our offense to be run and how we wanted our defense to be set up.
So it was all new.
New roles were being developed, a new philosophy. As we came out of preseason, I think we went 1-2 at Butler, and it was like, okay, this is where we're starting. This is the starting point for us. After that, we did a home and home with Cal State Northridge. You know, we lost to them there pretty bad, actually. I was pretty disappointed with that because I don't think that we handled the pressure very well of that. But then we came back here and we beat them in 5, and that was the first opportunity we had to play a 5-set match outside of the exhibition that we did with Santa Barbara. Okay, now we're starting to compete.
Fresno State wins in 5. Bulldogs win their home opener.
I think the growth they've shown is what you want.
Congrats on your first home victory at the Save Mart Center. Talk me through this one. What did you feel like was really the key to this match?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we're trying to get them to just compete right now. Every time we have an opportunity to step on the court and play an opponent, it's an opportunity to compete. But I think it's just more mentally right now, pushing them to believe in themselves and to want to be in that moment when the pressure's on.
Coach, thanks for the time, and good luck next week when you guys travel to Utah. You got a busy couple of weeks.
Our preseason Utah trip
And then we went to Utah. We played Southern Utah and Utah Tech.
The Bulldogs actually have 3 games this weekend, so they'll play this morning.
Yeah, we went to Utah Tech, played them at their place, and then traveled in Utah to go to Southern Utah, and then went back to Utah Tech to play them again.
That was probably one of the harder travel trips that we had.
It's draining for not only your physical state, but your mental state as well, and it was definitely helped us prepare. I think just being on the road helps you immensely when it comes to, you get super excited when you're home, which is a positive, and then when you go on the road, you're prepared for that and you're used to it. So I think that was a really important piece.
So a big weekend here in Utah for the Bulldogs. Uska, beautiful. Wow, what a save by Puri. And that is a great attack and kill for Keller. Quick set battle ad, and that will end the match. Bulldogs take it in the 4th set, 32-30.
Welcome to Cedar City, Utah, in the America First Event Center for the home opener for Southern Utah as they take on the Bulldogs of Fresno State.
Southern Utah, obviously they did everything they could.
It was an interesting atmosphere. It was very, very electric there.
Southern Utah, they had a huge student section, so there was a lot more factors that were playing in.
The crowd was crazy, screaming at us, screaming at our coaches, right behind our service line, trying to taunt us.
Lisa Rosen trying to tell her team to calm down a little bit and settle in. Crowd not making it easy.
To be honest with you, I think it affected our girls.
Plenty of juice from the Southern Utah students.
No one outside of this locker room matters. The only people that matter in a match is this group.
We adapted the mindset of the only people that matter are the people on our team, our coaching staff, our support staff, and the people on our roster, and our fans, obviously.
A 5-set seesaw affair goes to the home team. Southern Utah snaps an L4, improves to 3-4 on the year, and they drop Fresno State.
Those heartbreaking matches like that steer you away from wanting to do that again.
I think for us, there were some matches where it was a little disappointing.
And so then going into the Utah Tech game right after that, it's all right, we know what we're doing.
And you are playing back-to-back and all these teams, it's really important to move on fast and not get caught up in winning or losing, get too excited or get too down, because there's always another game.
Utah Tech Trailblazers host the Fresno State Bulldogs. Again, these two teams meeting just yesterday morning, a battle that was fought tooth and nail. The Bulldogs ended up winning in 4 sets. And an ace for Molly Upright. Send it over, Malchevska. The resilience from these two teams. It's been so fun to watch this weekend. Batted down by Lago.
We had to come back huge in that second time we played them.
Where we came back, I think it was 8 points or something to win. And that was definitely we were okay, we can work hard. We can work hard to win.
Don't count the Bulldogs out yet. They have rallied back to win. Cowie sends it over. Lego gets the point. We're going to a 5th set. Wow. I told you, do not count this Bulldogs team out.
But I felt like that was where we started to really talk about controlling the match, and I wanted us to be much more focused on what can we control in the match. There's going to be plays where we don't have any control. There's going to be calls where we don't have any control, but really focusing on what we can control.
Every point really mattered, every detail mattered, and just being more sophisticated on everything and just keep pushing till the end from the start, starting off strong and finishing off strong as well.
Bulldogs keep fighting. Free ball over, so Utah Tech gets a gift here. Snow gets through Can, and that is the game. Bulldogs celebration. What a comeback. They were down 24-19, and they come back and win the 4th set to take it to this 5th, and then come and win this 5th set. That has been some great volleyball as the Bulldogs improve to 4-4.
Okay, we have grit in us. We can, we can do this.
This was already a boost of confidence for us, and it kind of proved to ourselves that, okay, we can win. Now let's figure out a way to keep winning.
I think overall we just kept getting more chemistry, and it was really cool to see every game we kept getting comfortable.
And then we had the Central Cal Challenge, which I think is it's a rotating tournament. It's with Bakersfield, Sac State, and UOP.
Preseason was definitely long and it was hard, it was draining on us, but it prepared us.
You're tired, where you're sore, where you don't think you can do anything more. But we're gonna thrive through it instead of just surviving.
I feel like we definitely felt like we gave away a few. I think 6 and 5 was not where we really wanted to be.
I think that it takes time to work, get to that point again of winning and learning how to win. I think that was a big thing Lisa preached this year, was our team needs to understand how to win.
You know, obviously I wanted to be, 11-0. That would have been ideal. But I didn't necessarily think it was realistic.
When you lose, it's really like an eye-opener of what we need to do better.
From our losses, we took something away. If you don't take away from a loss, then it's not, then the loss is okay. If you take nothing away from it, then it's a waste.
I think that we knew we were better than that. It was just a matter of time. So I think that once preseason was done and we were 6 and 5, we weren't necessarily happy, but we were like, okay, this is not a terrible place to be.
Just getting rid of nerves and kind of maybe hitting rock bottom. I don't know if that's that sounds very dramatic, but just kind of peeling away all the layers and okay, what's really important.
Kind of drowning out everything else became so important to us, and it was just 1 point at a time. It doesn't matter what's going on around you. If you hear it, it's fueling you, but go get it.
I think we were all super excited to kind of just see how we were now, because up until that point we didn't know. We did, some preseason games, but we didn't know who we were going to match up with against in conference. So I think just going into that match, it was like, okay, this is going to determine kind of where we are against who we were playing.
Every opportunity is an opportunity for us to get better and learn how we can play and how we can handle stressful situations.
Jenna Legault for you guys led the way with 13 kills. Really thought Jenna had some really good swings for you guys.
After the Air Force loss, I think we were just looking at our matchups ahead and seeing okay, we can rebuild on this. It's early, super early in the season.
We were right there every time. We were right there. We didn't play bad, but we didn't necessarily play our best. So I think just the little things as well. Just keep pushing till the end from the start, starting off strong and finishing off strong as well.
I'm really proud of how resilient these guys are becoming, and they're learning how to fight. They're learning how, I think everybody says they want to compete, but it's different to compete, but it's when you get into it, and they're doing a good job with that.
Okay, now it's go time. Now it's the time to prove.
We really talked about starting off strong, and that's one thing that we have been working on, and so I think that we fight hard and we're trying to not fight so much and start off strong, but I think that we have that grit and it's easy for us to kind of fight back. But that fourth set, I think it was just our mentality change, and we were like, we control everything about this match.
This is a Fresno State team that just defeated New Mexico.
So for us to get those 2 first wins, like the one against New Mexico, I think it was a huge boost of confidence.
I think Lisa really gave us the confidence to play at our best, and we're more than capable of beating these teams.
This is a Fresno State team that comes in riding some momentum. Nevada and Fresno State.
Playing teams that a lot of us as returners we've seen before.
And we see them every year, and yeah, we didn't do it the previous years, but
not underestimating anyone and really just trying to go after them.
And the ace from the Bulldogs, Ella Rude, as the Bulldogs with a big play up front. A big play from the outside from Maya Malchevska. As Olivia Keller with another big play for Fresno State.
And that looked like an unbelievable swing.
It
With
was.
a heavy, heavy arm. Tough serve on match point.
Celie Lee can't quite get that one over the net, so the hitting error gives the Bulldogs the victory here. A 15-10 victory here in the fifth set as Fresno State wins this one.
So now they've won on the road and they've won at home. So they're starting to believe in what they're capable of.
Fresno State, this is their first of 4 games on the road as Fresno State will head to a game at San Jose State on Saturday.
We've got a fun one here in this rivalry. Back set to the right side and an answer from the Bulldogs. Nice serve, a diving attempt. And a great job by Grace Doyle for the Bulldogs. The bump set to the right side. Holuska by plenty. Slusser, serve goes off the tape. The set to the middle. And Casey Purry. We will have a San Jose State victory.
As the Broncos host the Bulldogs here tonight.
Fresno State, just off these couple last points, looks like they're getting some pep in their step and getting a little more aggressive.
Cowie gets down. Rude muscles it through. McGurr with the dig. And the kill goes to Olivia Keller on the other side for Fresno State. Blockers. There's a great blocker on the other side. Casey Purry with the solo.
Yeah, blocking is so much more than just putting your hands up in the air. You need to watch where your hitter, where the ball's going. Ball setter, ball hitter.
Doyle, that's a kill for the middle. Marsh, blocked at the net. Nice job by Sellers there.
Happy homecoming, Aggie Nation. It is noon here in Logan, Utah. The Fresno State Bulldogs and the Utah State Aggies.
We were at Utah State, and they were rolling.
Big swing from Ella Rude to start her day.
I'd be lying if I could tell you that I remember this exact moment perfectly in my head like a movie scene, but...
So we were about to play Utah State.
There's Legault with a good kill.
The Bulldogs really coming out strong here in this second set.
So we knew that they had got on this winning streak of however many, and so Jerome was talking to us in the locker room before we started.
The coaches all have a certain message that they want to give. So I'm very big into genuine and authentic messages. And so OJ gave his message and then Jerome gave his message.
Jerome comes in.
I think it was Jerome that said it.
Jerome was the first one to say it.
So credit to Jerome.
He says, "Why not us?" And everyone just kind of sat back and was like,
He said it in one of our little pregame matches. And it just stuck.
He was just saying well, why can't we be the ones to end their streak, or what, so why not us? And
why not us?
Yeah, why not? Why not us?
I don't think anyone really knew what it would become in that moment. It wasn't this big whole speech that he gave or anything like that, but I just remember it being up on the board.
We had this big whiteboard in our locker room that we would just decorate with a bunch of drawings and sayings and all this stuff. And so I just said write "why not us" up there.
I looked up at the whiteboard and Jerome was pointing to something that the girls had written.
The whiteboard before every match, writing little mantras or just doing random little sketches and stuff. And it was kind of our way to focus on the team that we were playing.
Everyone would write it on the board, why not us, why not us?
Front and center of the board. Every game after that was why not us.
We do the same thing in the locker room. We write on the whiteboard, we joke around. It was never a super serious thing. We were just, why can't we be the ones? We were at Utah State, why can't we beat them? There was never a team where we were oh, we're scared. No, it was well, why can't we be the ones?
But it's only up to us. No one else is going to do it for us. And we've worked so hard up to that point that it was just well, now's our opportunity. Let's go get it.
I think it was a great message.
And then it just became a whole thing.
And coming from Jerome too, I think it holds power just because of who he is. And he has fire and drive in everything, and his coaching and his connections with us, he has intent with everything, and he's very sought out and thoughtful in everything he does. So for him to say something is we're definitely all tuned in. It's not just jibber jabber, why not us? It's he means it.
I think it helped a little bit. It was kind of easier because now it was more the whole thing everyone, we all have this ability. We can do this together.
It allowed us to play freely and play hard and not worry about outside factors. Like, just have no doubt and just go play aggressive and go kick butt. But like, for me, it was more like yeah, we can do that. Like, you know, why not us?
Dumps it at the net. Great play there from number 2, Brooke Cowie.
Likely could have come away
block
with the victory,
there
but yeah, huge
by Maya
block.
Sellers. Fresno State, they fought a 2-4 in conference, 8-9 overall, just slipping underneath that 500 mark.
We didn't start as strong as we would have wanted in the beginning of conference, and I think we almost needed that because it made us kind of flip a switch and say, okay, first 6 games are behind us, we got 2 wins, now it's time to go beat the teams that beat us.
Yeah, this team is resilient. I think what they've gone through has made them even stronger.
Especially in a Mountain West conference that is certainly more competitive from top to bottom than maybe it's ever been in a single season.
The Mountain West is great because anybody can beat anybody.
Nobody is undefeated. Shows you how strong the spread of this field is.
From a parity standpoint, that makes this a really exciting and a really competitive conference.
Anybody could beat anybody on any day.
Conference is always when season gets more hectic. We were all dialed in. Everything was focused on the team in front of us.
Brooke Cowie is a phenomenal blocker, and not very often do you get a setter that loves to block, and so we really wanted to capture that.
You know, as a 5'1" setter, I'm not the tallest setter on the court, and I think that it's important because I'm a pretty good blocker, I will say, and I like to block, so it's fun, and yeah, we work on it a lot.
You know, we're working hard. We came in on Monday and Tuesday, and we got after it.
Just persevered. I thought the 4th set was really the big key. You know, they struggled in the 3rd set. The wheels kind of fell off a little bit. You didn't know which way they're going to go. And then I thought San Diego State played really well in the 4th set, had 20 kills, but Fresno State was able to stay, keep their composure and work through that. Very, very impressive what they did in the 4th set. And then 5th set, they started out down a little bit, but they're resilient and just ended up running away with it.
That is out, and the match is over. Bulldogs win in 5, and they win this one by a score of 15-9. The Dogs back to the 500 mark at 9-9, 3-4 in conference. What a win for Fresno State.